Hello everyone. I wish you all a very happy Mental Health Day. On this Mental Health Day, I had planned to conduct a live video on my Instagram, but due to some technical glitch, I could not hold it. Instagram, for some reason, is not giving me an option to go live. Well, for what it's worth, here I am, creating a non-live version of the same video. I mean, the idea was to bring all of you together and have an interactive session, but since we can't have that right now, I thought of at least making a sit and talk video, which I can post, and you guys can share your feedback and your insights or questions in the comment section. So, I have a tradition of holding mental health live videos each year, every year on Mental Health Day. So, continuing that tradition, I am making this video today. The topic of this video is something called If Mental Health Was a Person. Before we go further, though, let me introduce myself to those of you who are new. My name is Anamika. I am a trauma informed therapist. I'm a practicing psychologist. I started my journey a few years ago. I've been a practicing psychologist for more than 5 years now. I have been a content creator for more than 10 years, although I've never done it fully, full time, which is why the numbers aren't too many. But I've still created a, meaningful small little corner for myself here on the internet. And the idea is to create as much awareness about mental health as possible, or at least that's what I try to do, and to provide support. So, this is not therapy, this is just us coming together, creating a community where we have conversations that not many are having, although a lot of people have now started. Which is good because when I started making content on this, barely anyone was talking about it, at least in our country. And even if they were, it was not as widespread. But it, fills my heart with immense pleasure to see more people being vocal about it and just starting a dialogue. So, this topic, for today's live, it's something that just popped in my head randomly. Like, I was just contemplating, what we could talk about, or I was just thinking about things and mental health in general. And I just suddenly thought that what if mental health was a person? Like, how would it feel like if we would consider mental health like a person, like you and I, what kind of a relationship would we have with it if we sort of personify it? Because come to think of it, mental health is just a concept. It's just an abstract. You can't see it, you can't feel it. It's not tangible per se, right? And for the longest time, we have not even talked about it. We've not even recognized it. We're just at the verge of beginning to even comprehend what mental health is, right? Even though it's so important. So I thought that we could maybe, have some fun around it and look at it from a different lens. And that's what uh, I will try and do today. And if you guys find this helpful or if you like this topic, this conversation, then maybe we can have more conversations around this. So obviously, please share your feedbacks. Um, so I would try to keep this as organic as possible because that was the original plan for the live. I might refer my notes sometimes, but all in all, I just want to have this raw conversation with you guys like I always do, and uh, just try and create a better insight out of it because I'm also fairly new to this concept of taking mental health as a person. I've not practiced it myself. It's just something that clicked. And I thought maybe we can, come together and explore it. So, starting with, I want to first address what is mental health. Like, whenever we talk about mental health, we somehow automatically correlate it with mental illness or use it interchangeably, but that's not true. Mental health is just health, just like physical health, right? Yeah, our overall well being. But when I talk about mental health, we talk about the emotional, psychological, cognitive aspects of our being, which is our mind, right? Uh, Mental illness is a cluster of symptoms which we then call diseases or illnesses, which not all of us have. Mental health is something that all of us have. Mental health can be good, mental health can be bad, mental health can be moderate, and in extreme cases, that can turn into mental illness. Uh, so, some signs of mental health being good would be you are content in life, you are happy, you're mentally and physically fit, your emotions are in your control to a good extent, you cope with stress well, you're able to bounce back from painful and stressful situations relatively better, you have a good sleep, you have good appetite, you have a mind body connection which is in sync. These are some signs of good mental health. Signs of bad mental health could be insomnia, bad appetite, bad coping mechanisms, fluctuation in weight, erratic behavior, mood swings, emotional dysregulation, to name a few, right? And obviously, they can fluctuate. It's not static. It comes, it goes, it changes forms, and it's different for everyone, right? And when we talk of mental illness, again, mental illness is different. So, stress is not equal to depression, sadness is not equal to depression, panic or anxiety are different than usual worry, and being a perfectionist is not equal to having OCD. The latter, let's say depression, OCD, anxiety, panic, some other mood disorders, schizophrenia, bipolar, whatever, personality disorders, psychotic disorders, all of them, they have a different set of criteria, a different set of symptoms that are viewed by a mental health professional, either a clinical psychologist or a psychiatrist, and then they are the ones who diagnose you. And not all of us have mental illnesses, even though we have mental health issues here and there. So it's very important to have that demarcation, because when we don't have that is when we end up sort of screwing with our mental health a lot more, because we take on too much pressure, or we add on to the stigma or the misconception about mental health to begin with. So before we even go and discuss this topic at length, this is something that I wanted to talk about and you know get out of the way, right? Now coming to mental health being a person. So let's say you have a friend who is very bothersome, who is sometimes clingy, who is uh, maybe a bit too sad or a bit too happy or too nosy or too detached, right? Or maybe you have a set of friends who are like this. Somebody has one trait, somebody has the other. Or maybe you have a relative who shares these traits, right? It could be anyone. It could be your spouse, it could be your children, it could be your parents. How do we deal with these people? Do we just shut them aside all the time? Do we talk to them rudely all the time? Or do we give them over love and affection and connection and attachment? Or do we create a balance? How do we respond to them? Do we ghost them? Do we sideline them? Now, different people will have different ways of handling such people, good or bad, right? You could have people who bother you a lot, you could have people who love you a lot, you could have people who make you happy, who make you sad, blah, 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 right? Uh, but come to think of it, your mental health is not very different. Your mental health tries to create a similar relationship with you, but you end up ignoring it because we're not taught how to even address and acknowledge that we have a mental health to begin with. So, if you think of it, your mental health could be that 2 a.m. friend who is not leaving you alone and not letting you sleep. Your mental health sometimes could be that clingy ex who's not able to let go because they have attachment issues. Your mental health could be that nosy relative who is after your life and being an inner critic, or judgmental auntie or uncle who is bullying you into submission. Your mental health could be a school teacher, who believes in your potential and who knows that you're meant for better things. Your mental health could be your parent who loves you a lot and who's looking after you and who's rooting for you and who's there with you every step of the way. It could be any of it, it could be all of it, it could be a mix of it. But what's important is for us to recognize it and have a friendship with it. So when we say, let's say, if mental health is a person, I would like us to attribute that person as a friend, not a spouse, not a parent, not a guide, not a mentor, not a teacher, but just a friend. Because friendships are the most raw, organic, effortless kind of relationships that we can have. Because when we choose our friends for the most part, and there's this comfort with friends. There is this effortlessness. You don't have to create an impression because it's not a romantic relationship. You don't have to have that sort of limitation and boundary that you have with elders, your parents or grandparents or teachers, right? It's not the same as having a therapist or a mentor either, because that is a professional relationship at the end of the day. Friendship is a whole other category. And if you can be friends with someone and you can have a good, healthy relationship with that person, it's one of the biggest blessings in life. So imagine if you could befriend your mental health, right? Kitna acha hoga? Like, how good would that be if you could have that healing, therapeutic, healthy relationship with your own mind and body? Because mind and body is one. If you don't take care of one, the other collapses and vice versa, right? So The idea here is to personify mental health in a way where it becomes easier for us to then cope with it, handle it, and forge a relationship with it, right? So, whenever your mental health is bothering you, let's say it's not letting you sleep, or it's making you cry, or it's making you remember what happened 10 years ago, or what will happen 10 years later, or it's criticizing you for no reason, or it's struggling because of whatever it's been through, or when it's being too supportive, when it's being too kind, or when it's being a bit superficial or narcissistic, or delusional, or lack self-awareness, or it's trying to shower too much love on you, xyz, it's important for you to know how to handle it. It's important for you to know how to forge that connection with it, where you're not fighting it anymore, where you're not like, Arey yaar, oh my god, why do I have to deal with this? Because sadly, that's how we treat our mental health and our mind a lot of times, right? uh, so the first step for me, I think, is to recognize that we have mental health and recognize its patterns, the good, the bad, the happy, the sad. And then it's important for us to learn to listen to it, not judge, not get tired, not get bored, not get bogged down by it, but just to listen to it. What is it trying to tell you? Maybe your mental is trying to tell you that, stop multitasking your death. Or maybe it's telling you that feed me, give me food, give me rest, give me sleep, give me a real connection. Or maybe it needs breaks and it's telling you that, it's burning out. It's warning you that there's a burnout right ahead the corner. Please stop, please pause, please slow down. Right? Or it's telling you that please stop comparing me to others. Or it's telling you to stop putting too much pressure on it. Right? And basically, it's telling you in whispers through mental and physical and emotional symptoms to pause or stop, but you're not listening. You're not listening until it's too late or the damage is too much. So, the first step is to listen. What is it trying to tell you? Sometimes it could be telling you good things also, which you don't pay attention to. Sometimes it could be telling you that you are worthy of love, or you deserve love, or you need love, or you're a good person, or you're someone who deserves to rest and not put all of your worth in your work, xyz. And sometimes it could be warning you of some impending doom. It could be warning you of someone uh, you know you should be wary of, and that could come in the form of a gut reaction, that could come in the form of your instincts and your intuition, right? So again, instead of fighting these thoughts or numbing yourself from them by gaming or watching videos, or uh, indulging in food or sex or people, it's important to pause and listen, right? So recognizing it, understanding the patterns, listening to it are the preliminary steps, right? And once you do that, then the idea is to not fight with it. Then the idea is to not um, have that internal struggle, that tug of war, that push and pull with yourself, where you don't like how your mind is behaving. You don't like the kind of thoughts you're having. You don't like the kind of emotions you're generating. You don't like yourself for who you are, and you try to fight it by denying it, suppressing it, repressing it. Or you give yourself way too much leeway and you don't leave any room for feedback or criticism or insight, and you say that I'm the best person and everything is great and we're all fine, and you go in the realm of toxic positivity. Both are bad, both are self-sabotaging, and both can have some serious consequences and side effects, right? So we don't have to either. So after you have acknowledged and recognized that you have mental health, you've listened to it, you've identified the patterns, you are trying to befriend it, it's then important for you to also not judge it and create that balance. That here's the good part, here's the bad part. I'm trying to now integrate both and make the use of it as much as I could, and then go forward in a way where I am at peace with my mind and body, right? And how do you do that? You do that by taking care of your mental health. How do you take care of it? By giving it a rhythm and rest. Rhythm and rest. Rhythm and rest. Balance. That, okay, I will journal for half an hour each day. Or I will meditate or pay attention to my thoughts for 10 minutes each day. Or I will try and be more mindful. I will do some grounding exercises or breathing exercises for some minutes during the day so that I can be in sync with my mind and body. I will start speaking kindly to myself. I will start um, treating myself with respect and with the kind of respect that I give others, or that I deserve from others and others deserve from me, or I expect from others or they expect from me, right? I will start creating boundaries with others and also with myself from things and activities that are self sabotaging. I will respect my worth and my time, and I will see the value that I hold just by being. I will also eventually start moving more. I will use my body to stay fitter. I will exercise. I will do yoga. I will eat good. I will create beauty internally and externally, intentionally. I will intentionally try to be a beautiful person, not for the sake of it, and not superficially, but inside out, right? And again, not to get any validation from others or approval, but just because being beautiful is beautiful. And I want to create that harmony within myself, for myself. So I will treat my mental health like you treat a toddler, like you treat a baby, with as much unconditional regard as possible. And I would treat it like a friend who is, in need of help. Or I will treat it like anybody, a random stranger on the road, who might need my help and deserves kindness in that moment, right? That's the kind of relationship that I will create with myself. But at the same time, that does not mean that I will not hold myself accountable when I'm wrong, that I'll become delusional or narcissistic and tell myself that I'm right all the time or I'm the victim all the time and not develop any insight and not, you know, welcome healthy criticism. No, I will not do all that. I will be accountable. I will accept good, healthy, constructive feedback and criticism. I will fight the inner critic. I will not be overly critical to myself. But at the same time, I will try and do my best to, you know, uh, hold myself responsible as a healthy human being, as a healthy adult or adolescent, wherever needed, right? And for once in my life, I will stop being my own bully. I will stop pulling myself down. I will stop criticizing myself and, depleting myself of my own goodness. That's how you treat a friend. That's how you treat a person. And that's how you need to treat your mental health because it's telling you something and it's high time that you listen. Today is World Mental Health Day, and I don't think that there's a better day than today to acknowledge the importance of acknowledging our mental health and treating it with fairness and kindness. I mean, each day is as important as today because mental health matters and you matter every single day. But today is just symbolic. So why not start today and make this a practice, right? Um, I think I will make this into a series, especially if you guys like it. Please let me know in the comment section. And for today, I would like to maybe end this on a grounding note. Like before we end, I would just like to pause and check in. I would like you guys to take a few minutes, maybe after this video is over, and notice your body. Notice your jaw, your shoulders, your arms, your wrists, your palms, your thighs, your hips, your calves, your legs, each and every part of your body. Scan it. See where you're holding tension. Restrict those muscles, relax them. Restrict them, relax them. And ask yourself, what is this emotion that I'm carrying? What is this thought or memory that I'm carrying? And then release it. Let it go. Imagine if your mental health was sitting beside you. What would you say to it? How would you treat it? Would you give it a warm hug? Would you give it a slap? Would you shrug it aside? Would you ignore it? Would you ghost it? Would you not even acknowledge its existence? And then try and correct that behavior. Start seeing your mental health as a divine being that's there with you every step of the way because it is. And sometimes it struggles, sometimes it asks for help, sometimes it needs help, and it's your job to provide it that help, both internally and externally. Right? Internally you can do it on your own, and externally you can seek outside help to take care of your mental health. So try to make this a daily ritual where you're scanning your body for all your tension points. You're releasing that tension physically by constricting and relaxing your muscles. You are grounding yourself through breathing exercises, tactile exercises, whatever helps you exercise, physically and mentally both. Yoga, stretching. If gymming works, that works as well. Good diet, rest, good sleep, and allowing yourself to take up space, allowing yourself to validate your emotions for what they are and affirming yourself, telling yourself that I deserve good, I am worthy of love, I have value, my mental health matters, I matter. And just treating yourself with absolute kindness while challenging yourself to grow as a person. And of course, it goes without saying, if this gets too much to do it alone, ask for help. Create a good support system, seek out friends, family, uh, if that's not at all possible, maybe seek out therapy. Either ways, whether you have a support system or not. If therapy is too expensive, look out for other means. If therapy is affordable, please look for a therapist that's suitable for you. Work with them. and create a life that you deserve to live. That's it. I mean, that's the best gift that we can give ourselves: health, physical health, mental health, and a complete harmony in our mind and body. And that will not happen until you befriend your health, mental health, and physical health, right? That is extremely, extremely, extremely important. We're all human, and we need to start treating ourselves and each other as humans and not as machines. Okay? I hope that this video was helpful. If it was, drop your insights and feedback in the comment section. If it wasn't helpful, also you can drop your constructive feedback in the comment section. Share your insights, share your questions. Let me know if you want me to make a part 2 of this video, and I'll see you soon. Let's see. Bye.